So next thing we're going to look at is an anatomy of an HTML page. And that sounds kind of crazy. Like, yes, it's anatomy. And so here's an HTML page. And let's break it down. What's going on with these different tags which are in there? so why are they all here, right? And that's exactly what this page describes right here. And so anatomy of an HTML document, again, we're at the same page. So what is HTML really? I just scrolled down a little bit further. So anatomy of an HTML page, here's pretty much the basic thing that we have also. You can see doc type HTML, charset UTF-8. That stuff, if you're new to computers, is like a little bit, huh? And let me just say this about computers, if you're just getting started. As a programmer, you are always going to operate on the threshold between the known and the unknown. You will always operate on that threshold. And so you just have to get used to the fact that, like, there's a lot of stuff where you're like, I don't know why that's there. I don't know why it works, but you know, I know I have to have it. And if I don't, it totally doesn't work. And so you could test stuff. Does it work or not work without something? But so anyhow, some of the stuff like doc type HTML, why does that have to be there? You know, or charset UTF-8, what is that? Right? Like, you know, for some people that's definitely going to be on their outside their realm of the known. And you do need to include those. So what is doc type HTML? What is charset UTF-8? So again, you could just pause this video here if you'd like, but I've highlighted, like, you know, this description from MDN. Really good description, really nice. And you could read through those different pieces and parts. And I don't want to sit here and read to you because that kind of defeats the purpose. And I think that's kind of annoying when you watch videos and people read you stuff. I might occasionally slip into it. I'll try not to. But you could pause and read it because it is good content. And one of my jobs as an instructor is to get you good resources, to weed out the wheat from the chaff, to get the crap, to get rid of the crap and just be like, this is a good resource. It's worth your time to look at this and reflect upon it. And so that's one of those resources right here. All right, so now here, after you've read that, here is my interpretation of these different things on this page. So doc type harkens back to the old days of the web, and you just have to have it. And thank goodness that it's now only HTML, because it used to be this really long description. And so basically it's just telling, you know, any computer that receives this document that this is an HTML document, meaning it's a web page, and it should be displayed in a browser. When the browser gets it, the browser will be like, okay, it's a web page. And then here we set we have the opening tag for the HTML document, and we have the closing tag. So everything enclosed inside these two tags, or this HTML tag, the opening tag and the closing tag, is the content of the HTML tag, which means that this is all the HTML document. And then here we have the opening and closing body tag, and inside is the content of the body. This is what we're going to show to the user. And here we have the opening and closing head tag, and the opening and closing head tags are, you know, where it's additional information we kind of want to tell the browser, or we'll put the title in here, like right here, and then that's what shows up on the little tab in the browser. You know, it'll be the title of the page. So if I preview this, you can see that's anatomy right there. And so that anatomy came from right here, the title, and it's in the head. It's not down here in the body of the page. This is the body of the page down here. So things in the body show up down here. So that doesn't show up down there. So we put it up here in the head. And though the user sees it, you know, it's up there in the head, right? So that's what the head is. And then the stuff you need in the head, like here, meta, charset, UTF-8. This is just saying that the encoding scheme this page is using is UTF-8, which is an encoding scheme for encoding text to on-off switches, basically. And that the UTF-8 is the most popular encoding scheme in the world, and it encodes every character in every language the entire world over, and some. There's like additional stuff in there. So if you want to learn about UTF-8, you could take my course on Go programming, which if you're going to go all the way, if you're going all the way, baby, you're going to take HTML and CSS, and then somewhere else you'll take JavaScript, because I haven't created a JavaScript course. And then you'll take my Go programming class, and you'll take my web programming with Go. And you'll know front end and you'll know back end, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, the Go programming language, and building web apps with Go. That is your curriculum pathway, which you absolutely need to do. And so you can learn more about UTF-8 in the Go programming class and what a encoding scheme is. So the next thing, the only thing we haven't looked at so far is that this language, and that's pretty self-explanatory. This page is going to be displayed in English. Well, let's see this in action, because if I come here to my browser and I go to Google France, and so I'm going to go to Google France. It's Google FR, and you can see it already translated the page for me. I'm going to show original, and French is awesome. I love French. But if I right click and choose inspect, and then this brings up all the code, right? And this is like the developer's console down here. And then I look right here at the top of the page, HTML, the opening tag, and then here's the closing tag, and then there's my head and my body. Whoa, we're learning the exact same stuff Google uses. Though inside here it gets a little bit more complex. But you can see right here, language French, right? And so that's when my browser received that. It's like, well, you're in English, and this page is in French. Do you want me to translate it for you? That's how it knew it was in French. It was right there. It says FR. All right. So that's the basic anatomy of a web page, and you're getting the fundamentals of building web pages, right? You've learned about tags, and most tags have an opening and a closing tag. So opening, closing tag, and then you've also learned that there are some tags which are self-closing, like the image tag. And you learn that different tags have different attributes. Some tags have attributes, like the image tag has the source attribute and the alt attribute. So, you know, those attributes can then have values. So this would be the path to where the image is that I want to use. And by the way, this is old school programming. I got to figure out how to get my browser to quit doing this, or my editor, WebStorm, quit doing this. You no longer include that slash. That's HTML5. You don't include that slash anymore. In the old days, you did, right? So some are self-closing tags, and some have attributes and values. And then we've learned about the structure of a basic HTML page. All right, so that's pretty cool stuff. I'm just wondering if I should show you Emmet, but we're going to learn Emmet in another video coming up. In the next video, we're going to start looking at how we could use some of these tags to start building. I'm holding this in front of you like a carrot, building this page right here. Hold it in front of you like a carrot to get you through all this theory so that we could actually then start to apply it. And in the next video, we're going to start looking at tags, man. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to have a good time.